came to Baton Rouge with a plan. I'm not sure how many people really thought that Mississippi State could pull it off, but here we sit, 44-34 win over the defending national champions in their backyard.
Well, let's be fair. We didn't think.
No.
We didn't think it. You know, we mentioned it as a possibility. Some things had to go right for Mississippi State, but let's be honest. Let's be brutally honest right here. Mississippi State nearly gave the game away. Mississippi State had, 4 turnovers and had a penalty, a flag that was picked up. And, this game could have been a 21-0 type ball game in Mississippi State's favor at the half. And people are going to look at the record and look at the margin of victory. There were times in this game that State did not play well at all. I just begin to think, how good are they going to be when they play clean? Because they weren't clean. There were times that were very, very sloppy. But defensively, I thought, and that was the thing you and I kind of talked about in the box, is, we were on season kind of going back and forth, and somebody had to get a stop, and it was Mississippi State. And then State tries to fumble it away, and you have the interception, and KJ told us in postgame that he saw that corner was really tired, and he just let the ball get away from him. If he throws that ball to the outside shoulder to the sideline, it's probably a big play and a different ball game. But, man, what a great game to begin, not just the victory, but if you're a fan of college football, you had to love this game.
Well, yeah, and you had to love Mike Leach in that offense. I mean, we knew that they were going to throw the ball around. We knew they were going to be productive on the offensive side with his offense. I think we were concerned coming in on the defensive side, and the defense actually played pretty well in the first half. Got a little ragtag there in the second half, but when they had to make a play, they did. And, it turned out to be a 10-point win. I think they got after LSU. Mississippi State's defense got after LSU.
Yeah, and early in the ballgame, that was the thing you began to think about. As well as defense was playing, State was only up 3-0. It's like you just felt like, if we could just get a big play and get a little separation, maybe go up a couple scores to reward the defense for their effort. And I thought Zach Arnett had a great game plan. Of course, LSU adjusted a little bit, and they came out in that second half and ran the football. And that was one of the things we talked about all week we were concerned about, is how good would the State run defense be? And they kind of broke down at times between the tackles. But when you got separation again and you forced Miles Brennan to win the football game, he simply couldn't do it.
Right. I thought that Mississippi State actually won the football game by making Miles Brennan throw the football. And often he didn't even have time to throw the football. They created sacks. They created a lot of tipped balls. It was just a real good defensive performance from a defense that we really weren't sure was going to be that good. Offensively, it was just mind-boggling, because when you think about the number of turnovers that Mississippi State had offensively, and to still come away from here with a 10-point win is just something special. And I think Mike Leach, talked about that post game, and so did KJ Costello.
Well, it felt like to me that Leach was fighting back a grin the whole post game, and who could blame him at this point? 623 yards, a new SEC record. And then also, too, it's just like they looked like they were having fun. And one of the things that I thought when we got Mike Leach in, that this would be a tougher team, that they would be coached tougher, they'd be held accountable more. Listen, when LSU battled back and took the lead in this ball game, and I'm going to be honest with you, it might hurt some feelings. Last year's team gets blown out. This year's team, and maybe it's because of all this influx of talent. You bring in Tyrell Shavers, who had his biggest game as a collegiate player, which is not saying a whole lot, but I thought he was outstanding today. Yep. Osiris Mitchell with a career-high, huge game today. Austin Williams, a huge game today. But I think you've brought some guys in that have kind of changed the expectation. KJ Costello's a guy that's used to winning. Now, granted, he's in an offense now that kind of plays to his skill sets. He may even win even bigger, and I think today is probably, kind of indicative of that in the future. But you bring in some guys like a Jordan Davis, and, we hadn't talked a lot about Tyrus Wheat, but he had a couple of huge plays early in his game, and he looks like another number 2 that we had back in the Jackie Sherrill era that can come, a Big Ed Smith, I'm talking about, absolutely. A guy, game changer, a guy that's going to go in there and fight in the traffic and make a big play. I was excited about some of the pieces on defense.
Absolutely.
And we'd had so much talk about London Craft this week, and a lot of our fans weren't even fair to him. he didn't fill up the stat sheet, but I didn't think he was a liability out there. And I thought Sean Preston came in off the bench and was absolutely outstanding, led the Bulldogs with 10 tackles, and a Louisiana native.
Yeah.
It makes it even better.
Yeah.
You know, from St. James Parish, and Aaron Brule, real big sack on a possession down early in the ball game. And you love for those guys that were kind of overlooked by the home state school to be able to come back down here and get a measure of revenge.
Oh, absolutely. Great day for Mississippi State. Great day for all Bulldog fans everywhere. Glad you're with us on 247 Sports. Thanks for your attention today.